than me. She was very outspoken. And she goes, oh my gosh, she scanned middle American, middle, range. Not good. You do not want to be average American at that point. Average Americans sit on a park bench at Disneyland, watch average go by. That's not who you want to be. And she goes, oh my gosh, I'm 27,000. That's horrible. Obviously you're better. And I'm like, shh. We're not talking about this right now. But then we took our little bodies and we went and we listened to the scientists. And I thought, ooh, I've got a science background, but I don't have PhD scientists. I don't have 75 plus scientists crossing 13 different clinical subspecialties. I don't have Nobel Prize winning science behind my name. I went, wow, these guys have nailed it. Now, I will tell you, people go, oh, you were so lucky you came in when the scanner first came out. You wouldn't believe what happened to us with the scanner. I mean, they were huge. They were in giant coffin cases. We dragged them onto planes. We slept with them, seriously, because we were afraid that they would freeze out in our cars, and if they got too cold, they would break. They had to scan between 72 and 76 degrees or they wouldn't work. So we had ice chests of ice if it got too hot, and we had little heating blankets for them if they got too cold. And we had a thermometer next to it to make sure it hit in the range. Right? I'm not teasing. I'm not teasing. And a lot of people quit because they said, this scammer thing will never work. People call me later, how'd that scammer thing work out? I don't have time to talk to you right now, but you might want to check it out. Call me later, maybe not, right? Seriously. So we had obstacles, but we had vision. And we had some incredible leaders. Nathan Ricks, who led One Team Global. 2 weeks ago, we did the North America launch kickoff. I almost couldn't speak. Well, I kind of couldn't. I kind of fell apart a little bit. But just seeing Nathan's picture, because when I joined this company, Nathan is my upline. Nathan is most of our upline. But the concept that you could build an international business where we could collectively work together and help each other, no barriers. Marianne is nodding, yes. Her upline, Artemis, I make nothing off of Artemis, and yeah, I would do anything for Marianne and Artemis. One Team Global is a family, and we all contributed to it in the beginning to be able to help it grow and know that as we built our businesses around the world, that we couldn't be everywhere. I've tried. We couldn't be everywhere all at the same time, right? But we could trust our partners and our family in One Team Global. There aren't closed meetings. Oh no, it's just our team. We don't do that, and I am proud of that. And I was with Daniel and Rick Norell, and I was with Susie Mollison, and I was with so many people in India for the launch. And I'm looking around, there was an OTG breakout meeting, and we're all from different countries, and we're like, look at us all working collectively together to help the people in India work together. Aman's downline. It's like we're working with some incredible people building a future for the better of the world. Who gets to do that? We have dream jobs. We are the people that others are like, what are you drinking? What are you smoking? Because you guys are like happy all the time because you're making a difference. And when I talk to people and I say, do you want to make more money? Do you want to look better? Do you want to feel better? Do you want to have purpose in your life? Do you want to leave a legacy? And they go, no. I go, okay, you are missing a heartbeat. I cannot work with you. I cannot do CPR, right? Find the ones that go, yeah. Because when I was introduced to this, I'd kind of lost belief in myself. And when Dan McCormick had said, but it's like we all work together, and he teaches principles of becoming, you can say, principles of becoming a millionaire, because it's a different concept than being an employee, right? He's done that for over 20 years. Everybody's welcome to listen on Saturday morning. And he said, somebody like you should be making a lot more than you are and live the life that you want. And he said, once, maybe twice in your life, if you're really lucky, something comes your way that can change your life forever. Once, maybe twice, if you're really lucky. The question is, will you recognize it for what it is? And will you take action? And I got really quiet because I grew up in a broken family. I was not going to marry to be, that was not going to be my purpose. I didn't need a man to make me. But if the right man came around and he was worthy and we could help each other and lift each other, then yes. I fell in love at 17. I was not planning on that, but I fell in love, married that man. We've been successfully married, happily married for 47 years. But It is one of my favorite things to actually work with, and I love seeing more of the men in the audience. Finally, we're back with Farmanex. Finally. But I love helping women especially be empowered to be able to be with the person they deserve to be with because they deserve to be with them, right? Instead of, oh, I'm sorry, I can't, I said this and I don't have the money to do that. Do something about it, right? I mean, do something about it. Be with the person that inspires you. So my husband had turned down the opportunity. He was a star athlete and football and track at University of Oregon. And he was given the chance to be one of the first 10 investors in a little company. And I guarantee you guys have heard of this company, most likely. But his track coach offered him a chance to be one of the first 10 investors in a company called Nike. I was a speech pathologist. I could have taught him how to say yes. He did not say yes. He said no. And he came home several years later. He's a general contractor, he's worked hard all of his living. And he said, you will not believe what happened to me. And I said, what? And he's not a tiny guy. He's 6'4", ex-football player. And he said, I'm building this home like 20 minutes from our house. And the guy said, my niece is a multi-millionaire. It's just amazing, blew my mind. And my husband said, well, what did she do? Because she was up in Oregon too. Did she marry one of the logging family or something? And he goes, no, can you believe this? She was given a chance to be one of the first 10 investors in Nike. Can you believe that? She makes millions of dollars now. My husband goes, yeah, I can believe that. So he comes home, his tail's tucked between his legs. He said, you won't believe what happened. He tells me this story. He goes, honey, I wasn't meant to be a millionaire. Look at these hands. I was meant to build homes and make people happy in their houses. And I said, I don't know who you're trying to sell that story to because I'm not buying. But what it did is it taught me, and I told Dan McCormick, I said, so does marriage by association count? Because if so, I've already had strike one, and this maybe is my only other opportunity. And my husband looked at me and goes, what do you have to lose? I don't think we can afford to not have you look at this. And I had to get my patients covered and my kids covered, and I flew to Utah, and it changed my life because I was sitting in a room like this for the first time, listening to the science, listening to the stories, listening to people from all different backgrounds, not health professionals. We're actually a small segment of the group, and I thought, if all these people can do it, I ought to be able to do this. And if I could show people how to improve their score with the scanner and make a difference and an impact in their life, oh my gosh. I mean, this is a personal development journey masquerading as a business. You will do both. You will not succeed in the business without the personal development journey. But it is a journey of a lifetime that every day I wake up with gratitude because I said yes. Even with the scanners that were difficult, and I look at Prism now and I just go, oh. I mean, I look at Prism now and I get excited I scan myself in the morning and the night, every day, at least twice a day. Do you need to do that? No. But is it fun? Yes, it's fun. So I'll get to talk to you a little bit more tomorrow, but you're at the precipice of something that I haven't seen in a really long time. This will eclipse the launch of the original S1. This will be bigger. It will go into families, not just individuals, and it's going to be the most exciting ride of my time, of my life. And I know you guys will eclipse everything that all the rest of us as leaders have already done, and it's going to be really fun to watch you. So thank you for that.